This is Anatomy and Physiology, Chapter 12, video number 2. So we are looking at what is a nerve, and then we're going to break down the motor division of nerves into even more categories. So a nerve is a bundle of nerve tissue. So there are many parts that we are going to go over when we talk about nerves. So cranial nerves, spinal nerves, the branches, they all have a very similar structure when it comes to a nerve. Now there are a couple differences, but as we go through this unit, we'll see what some of those are. So we're going to take a deeper look into the motor division, that efferent or output. There are three major parts of this. The first one is called the somatic nervous system. This is output to voluntary or skeletal muscle. So we're going to be looking at skeletal muscle in our next unit, and we're going to integrate how the nervous system works to cause the muscles to function. So we have a nervous system that goes out to all of these skeletal muscles that we have control over. So anytime that you're moving anything, your somatic nervous system is going to be in charge. The second major division is going to be the autonomic nervous system. This is output to glands and involuntary muscle. So smooth and cardiac. And it can be divided into three main parts. We have the sympathetic, spelled that wrong. The parasympathetic, and the enteric. Now, if we look down at the diagram, we can see that here are the sympathetic and parasympathetic. And these terms right here, these little phrases, fight or flight, rest and digest, those kind of tell us what these nervous systems. So this is activity, and this is resting functions. So they control different things. The enteric controls parts of the digestive system. Independent, for the most part, of the central nervous system. So it kind of almost has a little bit of a mind of its own, but that's because the digestive system is so important in getting nutrients to everything, and especially the central nervous system, that it can still function if the brain is damaged. So with this, if we look at this diagram, it just shows some of the different pathways that are controlled by the parasympathetic autonomic nerves and the sympathetic autonomic nerves. So if we look at the sympathetic over here first, you can see that dilating the pupils inhibits salivation, increases the heartbeat, relaxes the airways. These things are all used to help prepare the body for action. So it allows the body to do different things to prepare for activity. So by inhibiting activity of the intestines, the blood supply can be more directed to the muscles. Increasing the heartbeat and relaxing the airways gets more oxygen to the muscles to function. Parasympathetic does things for resting, So it stimulates intestines. Most of the time, we do most of our digestion when we are in a relaxed state because it uses a lot of energy to digest food. If we need that energy to do other things, we're going to stimulate the sympathetic pathways. So we can see that different cranial nerves, cervical, thoracic, lumbar, the spinal nerves, the sacral nerves, they all go to different parts of the body, both with everyday functions and also sexual activity. So we end up with these different nerves function and pathways to different organs and glands.